The 7 aspects of culture, a cultural mosaic. My culture is my sense of belonging that is confirmed in my deep-rooted shared traditions, practices, and beliefs. Follow along for a personal exploration of my personal culture and action plan for fostering increased awareness of culture in my classroom. The first of the 7 aspects of culture is social organization. This is the way a culture organizes its members into smaller groups with intentional rules and rank of status. In my culture, my status differs based on who I am with and my role in that organization. In my immediate family, as a mother, I enjoy the role of leader, caregiver, and teacher of my children. We tend to abide by our cultural gender roles as mothers and fathers as we divide the household and child-rearing duties. In my extended family, my status falls more in the middle as I defer to my parents as the matriarch and patriarch of our family. Family is important in my culture with deference and respect given to our elders. In my occupation, I understand my status falls below those with more education and experience than I possess, but I am granted opportunities to learn and grow from their experience and knowledge. At the core of culture is a shared language that may be formal or informal and include gestures. In my culture, we speak the English language, often informally. We find unity in our shared words and sayings that may not be interpreted accurately to those outside our culture, both in a broad sense and within a smaller context. We use this shared language to pass down stories and memories of loved ones and events. My language is different within my home than when at work. In our classroom, we have our own special culture and informally adopted words, sayings, and gestures that have created a sense of unity among us. Cultural customs and traditions may be written or unwritten. They are the behavioral expectations for a group, laws, or social norms. Often these norms are understood without being expressly stated and set the expectation for rights and wrongs. Cultural expectations are not the same in every situation, and we have learned to read the room to understand our role and behaviors from situation to situation. How we act in school, at home, with friends, or at church all varies. Customs and traditions are also found in how holidays are celebrated, what music we listen to, and when and how we run our days and weeks. In my family, we have cherished traditions that have been passed down for so long my children wouldn't even know why we do the things we do if we hadn't told them. Every fall, my family handcrafts a piñata and we fill it up with toys and candy and break it open on Christmas Eve. This tradition is a nod to my grandparents and something we have been doing for 40 years. My culture also values our history and our communities. We love to bring people together for school events, sports, and good food as we celebrate the ties that hold us together. Art and literature is how we express ourselves and hand down information from one generation to the next. It is a creative outpouring of expression that we take pride in. In my culture, especially within my family, music is important. I come from generations of violinists who share a love of the violin and study the Suzuki method of music education. Art and literature can also be found in cherished cookbooks full of handwritten notes and recipes from loved ones who have passed. In education, the values of our culture are evidenced in our music, our bands, orchestras, and choirs play, and the art our students create. You'll find the values of our culture embedded in the stories our students write and the projects they create. In my culture, Christianity is a common belief system within my family and community and characterized as a monolithic faith. We believe in one all-powerful God, and evidence of our beliefs is found in the multitude of churches, crosses, and religious signs scattered sometimes obviously and other times discreetly. Our beliefs answer our questions about the meaning of life and influences our values, customs, and traditions, language, and art. My culture values democracy, where every citizen has a voice and a shared vision for the practices that sustain it. Government in our culture creates order and protects our society. It gives us a sense of the rules and the way of doing things. My culture in the United States runs on a mixed economy where individuals make some decisions while the government makes others. Our system features characteristics of both capitalism and socialism, which allows economic freedom, but the government has the power to intervene for the public good. Our government controls areas such as education, roads, and postal services. As an educator, how can I be intentional and purposeful in fostering increased awareness of culture in my classroom setting? The first step in fostering an increased awareness of culture in our classroom is to start talking about it and recognize our personal bias and stereotypes. Verna Myers suggests we walk boldly into our biases to overcome them. Have the courage to speak up when what people are saying is wrong, make connections, and become an advocate and an ally. Expand our social and professional circles and create authentic relationships. The culture of Idaho is shifting as more and more people move into our state and bring their values and traditions with them. This reinforces the statement that culture is not stagnant and is influenced not only by technology, but by the movement of people from one place to another, where they will adopt some aspects of their new culture while holding on to familiar customs and beliefs. To foster increased awareness as an educator, I need to express genuine interest in my students and learn about them as whole people, not just students in the classroom. As a teacher, I should not just instruct my students, but facilitate their learning and encourage all students to drive their learning and connect concepts to ideas that are relevant to them. It is important to remember that culture does not include just where our students come from, but can also include their poverty status, and curriculum should be inclusive and leave room to recognize students' cultural lives and backgrounds, while acknowledging we all have something unique and special to bring to the class. So how do I become a culturally responsive teacher? Here are some quick action steps to get started. Learn to pronounce students' names correctly. Recognize personal biases and boldly lead in to overcome them. Allow students to become the experts and share important aspects of their culture with the class. Celebrate cultural holidays and events. Be aware of my own cultural identity and how it affects others.
Created using Powtoon.